Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam. Subscribe and join the fam. If you don't always follow me, I do videos about everything and anything, I guess. Lifestyle vlogs. We're moving into a new house. There's about to be a lot of house content, as well as a few others I've already made. A lot of nursing content because I just graduated in December of 2021 with my BSN and I am now a nurse. But anyways, this video is definitely a nursing video, as you probably clicked on it for, and it's going to be all about my transition from student nurse to graduate nurse to an RN. I've had many people in my life ask me questions about this. Many people on social media ask me questions about this. My family and friends ask me about it, so I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about it. First things first, it is 10 o'clock at night. You can see it's probably dark out. And since I work night shift, this is when I am most awake. I have my most free time, so that's when I'm making this video. So I have my ring light here, and I'm sorry if it's bad lighting, but we'll move on. Just wanted to address that. I do have my phone here with a couple like notes that I want to talk about, so if I look down at stuff, that is what I'm looking at. To start this out, I am wearing my nurse sweatshirt. I'm an oncology nurse, and my mom got this for me for Christmas. I love it. I wear it all the time. So yes, I am an oncology nurse. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in December of 2021. I went to University of Michigan. I work at a big hospital, and I work on the oncology floor. I passed my NCLEX like a month and a half ago or so. And I just finished orientation to be on my own, so I'm just going to talk about the whole process. It has been a journey, to say the least. That is like the one word I know how to describe everything. The good, the bad, the in-between, everything. And what I've learned and what I've heard from a lot of people is it's going to take a long time to get settled and to feel comfortable, and that is perfectly fine. I don't know where I've heard it before. I've seen it a lot of places, heard it a lot of places, but it takes like a year to fully get settled and feel comfortable in a setting that you're new to. Whether it's a new place moving to, a new house, a new job, whatever it would be. But it's the same thing as transitioning from a student to an actual RN, especially if you're going to a hospital or a job that is brand new to you. You are going to feel basically every emotion ever, probably every day that you're there. Smile, crying, anxiety, excited, everything, especially before you go into work. Like, I remember, I still get it, honestly, because I just went to night shift not that long ago, where I'm meeting all new people, having like a whole new work situation going on. I still get like that pit in my stomach where I get like the Sunday scaries before I go into work. And that's fine. That's completely normal. Everyone gets it, especially with a new job. Like, this is something brand new to you, so you just have to accept that it's going to take a while to fully get used to, and that it's just going to be a whole journey and process in itself. With that said, it's a...
Yes, it is.
I don't know why, like, my phone's not even on. It locked. I don't know. Anyways, with that said, it is a big change from your normal life. And honestly, it's not the kind of change that I thought it was going to be. Before I like graduated and everything, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to graduate. I don't have classes anymore. I can work full time and just have my job, have all the time in the world, everything like that. So excited. And it's just not what I thought it was going to be. It feels really weird. Like, it's just a big change for everything in your life. You no longer have school, which you probably went to school for a very long time because you went through all of grade school, high school, college. If this is like your second time getting a degree, whatever it be, you went through a lot of school, and that's like what you're used to. So not being in school and not taking classes is weird. Also, I'm not used to working full time because I would work contingently or part-time while I was in school, and before that I was working a full-time job, but it was as like a waitress, so it's a little different than having like my full career job in the hospital. I will be honest, I have struggled with the fact that I'm going to be working the rest of my life. Like, before I graduated, I was like, oh, this is going to be the best thing ever. And now that I am graduated and like in this situation, it's hard to comprehend that this is what I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. Don't get me wrong, I love nursing. This is the degree that I'm happy I got. This is what I want to do with my life. I don't 100% know where I want to take my nursing career, but I do know I love nursing. But on the other hand, I wasn't prepared to just think about me working for the rest of my life. I just like, I don't know, so maybe it's that like whole Gen Z type thinking where, I don't know, is that what I'm considered? I'm 23. I don't know, but anyways, maybe it's that younger type thinking where like, oh, I don't want to spend my whole life working, sleeping, going to bed, cooking, working, like repeat, and then only have certain times of the year that I actually have free to do things or travel or have new experiences. Like, I wish that I would have had more time before all this to do that, and I wish that I didn't have to work full-time for the rest of my life basically to do that, because by the time you retire at 65, like, you don't have a lot of life left to do all that you haven't been able to do. I don't know if anyone else thinks like that, but I do, and it's been hard to accept. I will be completely honest with you guys, because I don't know, it's just scary that I'm gonna have to work for the rest of my life, and I need to find a job where I am 100% happy to go into every day. Not that I'm not right now, but I know this is not what I want to do for the future. This is just a long way of saying I'm struggling getting used to the fact that I'm going to work forever. And even though you think you're gonna have a lot more time with no school and just work, you're wrong. As I was kind of just saying how I'm not sure where I want to go with my like nursing career, if you know 100% that you want to go into something, like you are a labor and delivery nurse, you are a NICU nurse, you are pediatrics or oncology, whatever it may be, go into it right away. You don't need to go into med-surg, you don't need to go into something that's not specialized to get your experience. If you can, which some hospitals let you, some don't, I get that. If you have the opportunity to, go into what you want to specialize in. Otherwise, if you're like me and you don't exactly know what specialty you want to be in or what you want to do with your whole career, I would suggest going into a med-surg or some sort of area where you learn a lot of basic skills. I think stuff like this, like that's why I kept working on the oncology floor that I externed on, because we get everything and anything. Cancer affects every part of your body, causes mental issues, it causes heart issues, lung, muscles, like everything. So we basically do everything on that floor, and I knew that I could just learn so much for whatever I want to go into later. You are also going to like your job 10 times better if you go into something that you're interested in. Don't settle. Like, if you get a job in pediatrics and you're like, no, I don't want to work with kids, but this is the job that I got, don't take it. You're going to hate your job. You're going to hate going to work. You're going to hate being a nurse. Like, it's not worth it. Continue to find something else. Okay, that's just like a big overview of things I've experienced, but I also want to give some like tips and tricks along with it. So some of those. One, do not be afraid to ask for help. I get it's a new social setting, it's a new work setting, it's new people, it's scary. I understand that. Trust me, I know. But they're there to help you. And if they're not, you go higher up or you call them out. Like that, they are there to help you. If it's a teaching hospital and you are getting new people in, they are supposed to help you. No question is a dumb question. I know we hear that all the time and you're like, no, some questions are dumb, but they're not. If you don't know it, it's better to ask it, or if you are doubting yourself, whatever, ask it, ask the question, because you would rather ask it and get an answer, the right answer from someone and help from someone, than doing it wrong and causing harm to someone else or yourself. If people don't know the answer, I've even had questions where I'll ask people and they're like, you know, honestly, I haven't had to go through that situation yet. I don't know. Or let's go ask the manager, whatever. Let's ask the charge nurse. Like, they might know. So you never know. Take advantage of your resources. And this can apply to a lot of things. There are tons of resources online. I know my hospital like has, I forget what it's called, Lippincott and Lexicomp, like stuff like that, that we can actually look up meds, look up procedures, look up your hospital's procedures and everything. Like a lot of hospitals on their website has a whole nursing section, and if you go into it, you can look at their skills and procedures and how they want to complete things if you don't know how to do something, like sterile procedure for a Foley or an IV or hanging chemo, like stuff like random things like that. If you're just not sure, look it up. You'll know 100% how the like place that you work at wants it done. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of your older coworkers, of your managers, of your other workers, like therapy and respiratory therapy, and even the nutrition people and the laundry people. Befriend them. Take advantage of anything and anyone that is there. You need to learn how to accept mistakes and learn from them, and know that you will make them. You are not going to be perfect. You are brand new. You just graduated. You barely even know how to function, which, by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier. Nursing school does not prepare you for being a nurse. It doesn't. Not at all. You know textbook things, and you took the NCLEX knowing textbook questions and answers. Real life is not textbook. Not even close to being textbook. But back to what I was saying, you will make mistakes. We are new nurses. Even nurses that are 25 years into their career are making mistakes and learning from it. Science changes all the time, healthcare changes all the time, ways we do things change all the time. Like, that's why older nurses still even make mistakes, or they'll be doing like something the older way when we need to do it the new way. Or you may do something because that's how you learned it in school, but that's not how the hospital does it. That's okay. We learn from it and we move on, and that's how we grow our knowledge. Learn where things are in the hospital. I cannot stress that enough. It will be so much easier when you know where everything is. You won't be in a code trying to run down the hallway trying to find something. You won't be sitting in the room trying to gather supplies for an IV for 30 minutes when you need that IV right away. I would suggest those first like week or two, take any free time that you have before or after work, or during lunch, or just during free time during like working hours that you have, to just know where things are. Walk around. This is where the crash cart is. This is where all of our supplies are. Even the supplies, there's so much. Like, we have a whole room, and it's like a whole wall and a whole another wall. So like, just know where things kind of are. Where laundry is, where you take like dirty trays, just a bunch of random things like that. It will help you in the long run, and it will save you so much time. Get organized. And that's just a very broad thing, but you need to be so organized. You need to figure out time management organized wise. You need to figure out like what you're going to be carrying on you organized wise, like how you go about your whole day organized wise. A lot of things. So time management is really important in nursing because there's so much going on. Just learn how to prioritize certain patients and situations, medications, stuff like that. Definitely learn what you use every day and what you want to keep on you every day. I learned on night shift we don't really use our stethoscopes too often unless it's like a new patient admit. So I leave that behind in the break room, and when I need it, I go get it. I don't want to carry that around with me all the time. But I carry like, on my badge I have a Sharpie, a dry erase marker, and what else? A pen. I have my key for the drawers. I have a little light since I work night shift and it gets dark. I carry extra pens, extra Sharpie, scissors, all my papers. Just, you need to learn what works for you and what you want to carry, because everyone's different, but once you learn what you need, it's going to be habit to just grab those things out. You won't have to worry about like prepping for anything. You just have it with you. And figuring out your whole like day-to-day situation. I have my own personal things I like I have a whole 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. schedule sheet that we have at the hospital, and I write down all my meds, all the procedures that are going to be done, like if someone needs to be NPO at a certain time, just everything that goes on within certain time periods. I know I go into patients' rooms, put my name and number on the board, introduce myself, ask how they're doing, if they're in pain. I'll prioritize their pain meds over other people and their like regular meds. I will do all the meds, finish everything. Once it gets a little later and everyone starts to go to bed, I will go take my break. I'll eat lunch, dinner, whatever. And after that, once people are usually sleeping, I go ahead and do all my charting, penned all my notes, yada yada. And then the rest of my day just kind of goes as needed type stuff. But you just need to figure out what works for you, how you want your day-to-day to be, and stick to it, because that's going to be like a habit routine that you do at work. I would suggest to wear very comfy scrubs and shoes, especially if you work night shift and you're kind of had that down period from like 1 to 5 a.m. and you get to kind of like lay back, maybe go take a nap if you can on your break, whatever it be. Even on day shift, like you're walking around a lot, you're sitting a lot, whatever it be, you need to wear comfy things. So find a scrub brand that works for you. Shoes, I have Clove nursing shoes. Some people don't like them, some people like clogs better, some people just like Crocs. I wear compression socks. I think they help me, other people don't. I have certain scrub brands I like, other people like other ones. It's whatever you think is comfy, but definitely get something that is nice and that you like wearing. Trust your instincts, because as new grads, we doubt ourselves, but I'm telling you, deep down, you know this. You've learned it. You know it from looking at the patient. You know the patient best, besides the patient themselves, obviously. If a doctor is coming in and telling you something and you're like, no, like that's not what's happening, I think this needs to happen, stand up for yourself. Scary as hell, it is. I wanted to shit my pants the first time that I like had to stand up to a doctor and do something like that, but it will help the patient, and that is our ultimate goal. With that said, teamwork makes the dream work. Cheesy, I know, but it's true. Work with all your nurses together. You guys are not against each other. You guys are there to help each other. If you have some free time, ask if someone needs something. Hopefully they'll ask you. Ask them questions. Ask them to help you with a procedure if it's your first time. Utilize the charge nurse. They're there and they know what they're doing. Work with your doctors and not against them. Again, when you stand up for yourselves, don't be rude or anything. Just work with them. Acknowledge that you guys are here for the patient and for the patient's health, and this is why you think this, whatever. Work with them. Work with therapy. Talk to them. What did you do with the patient today? What would you suggest I can do to help? Whatever it be. Read notes thoroughly and just get a big picture and fully understand your patient's situation. This is something I definitely did not do in nursing school, and I kind of just started to do while on night shift, like on my own. I do my notes pretty thoroughly. I say everything that's going on, why they came in, everything that happened this shift that's relevant, all their safety protocol, all that stuff, their vital signs, whatever, if you talk to any doctors, if they got responses, all of that. Just because people coming in after you, whether it's therapy, whether it's doctors, whether it's aides, other nurses, they can look at your note and get a very good picture. Rather than some notes I read and they're like, patient received Zosyn antibiotic today. A bed led. Like, that tells me nothing about what happened besides you gave an antibiotic. And honestly, there are some people's notes that are like that. The doctor's notes, I would suggest reading all the time very thoroughly and just understand everything about your patient. Why they came into the ER, what they did in the ER, if they were on a different floor before yours, what happened the days leading up to you working, why they're getting certain things. Like, just have a good picture of everything that's going on, because if something happens and someone asks questions, you want to know it. You don't want to say, I don't know. If you have to rapid response, I don't know if all hospitals do that. Ours is called rapid response. It's not a code, but it's like a step below. Like if something's going wrong, like altered mental status, altered breathing, a fall, stuff like that. they ask you questions and you need to know them and answer them. Even in code situations, stuff like that, which codes are a whole nother thing. Like, I haven't really been involved in a code. Like, I've had one, but I wasn't doing a lot, and it's just a lot. I can't even get into it because I don't know what happens. Basically, there's just so much going on. So that's something you gotta learn on your own. But yeah, people ask questions about your patient when something goes wrong and you want to know it off the top of your head. And just for you, if the patient has an altered breathing, whatever, and you want to know their background history, is this something that's common with them? Is this something that's been going on in the last couple of days because of their condition? Is this something completely new that I need to notify people about? Like, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I specifically wanted to talk about. It's just been a really big change, and I'm still getting used to it, especially to the schedule and just knowing that I'm going to be working forever. I know I already said that and I talked about it a lot, but it's a big adjustment going from school and that whole college life, and even if you're older, like getting a new degree, like this is a completely different career path than what you had beforehand, whether it was similar in healthcare or whether it was something completely different like finance. Like, it's still a big change, no matter if you're young and a new grad or older getting another degree. All I can say is it's worth it. You got this. Go into what you like. Acknowledge you're gonna make mistakes. Learn everything that you can and know that you know a lot, and accept the journey for whatever it is, because that is what it's going to be, a journey. Good, bad, medium, happy, sad, anxiety, all of the above. I hope this helped maybe someone. I feel like it might have been like very basic things that I just talked about, but I don't know, it's certain things that I learned or I heard beforehand, but I didn't think they were very important or mattered very much, and now that I'm actually in it, I know it does. So hopefully this helped someone or was interesting to you. I don't know, maybe I'll encourage you to go get a nursing degree. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know if I would suggest it unless you're 100% up for it. But if I did, good for me. Pat me on the back. Subscribe and like if you guys enjoyed. I will have more content out there every week, at least once a week. And I will see you in my next video.